Shalom. That means peace to you, for those of you who don't know. This is Gabrielle with Herbally Defined, and I am going to be talking about 10 things all new moms need to know. Okay. I'm going to start off with this. I do this every video, so if you watch my videos, you're going to see me do this every single time. Representing Kavita because it's a really good drink. It is a sparkling probiotic, and that's what the label says. It's a kefir water drink. It's really good for you, and it tastes really good. But these are the 10 things that all moms need to know. All new moms, especially, need to know. It's very rare that it's discussed. I know for certain your doctors typically do not tell you these things. I know when I was being seen by the physicians with my first 2 children, I was not made aware of any of this by doctors. Everything that I had learned from some beautiful women who took their time out to help educate me on what my body will experience, what it will go through, what the baby will experience, what is needed, how long I'll experience certain things. I had 2 beautiful women who was actually almost the heads of a organization that was out there to educate new moms, to educate mothers and low-income families. With my first 2 children, we were helped greatly by their ministry. And so, had it not been for them, I would not have known the things that I needed to know after labor and delivery, after having my children. And so this video is just to give the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding that I had received during the preparation of childbirth and recovery. So I'm just going to give you 10 things, 10 tips, 10 suggestions. And if this is helpful for you, please comment below and tell me you want to know more. Thumbs up. Let me know that you are interested in understanding, getting more advice or guidance in certain areas pertaining to recovery and pertaining to your body and baby's body. So let me know. Better pay attention and monitor him if you're going to take him out. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So welcome to my home where the children just come and ask mommy anything during everything. So, this is one tip that I want to give you, so I don't forget. I'll give that first. Wherever you are in the country, I am in the U.S. of A. I'm not for certain how they do it overseas in the U.K. or in Sweden or the Netherlands or any other place outside of the U.S. of A. But here, Missouri and in Kansas, if you go to the local motor highway patrol facility, they normally help low-income families or single moms who are about to deliver and have no access to a car seat. So you can check the local highway patrol and give them a call and say, I was told that you guys offer free car seats to low income families or to families who cannot afford a car seat. And I will be having my child very soon, or I just had my child and I need to get a car seat. And what they will do is if they do the program, if that is something that they offer, they'll typically ask you to make sure that you bring the child, so they can have proof that you do have a child, or if you are still with child, you haven't delivered the baby yet, what they'll ask for you to bring is proof of pregnancy and your due date. They'll set up an appointment with you, and when you go to get the car seat, they will actually install it for you. That way the car seat is properly installed. They will go over the do's and don'ts with the car seat. They'll go over the proper statistics on how long the baby should stay rear facing and things of that nature. So they offer that here where I am. We actually were blessed multiple times with free car seats from the highway patrol, because car seats are expensive. They're very expensive. And so, I'm here to give any and every tip that was given to me. And that way somebody else's family can be helped as well. So I wanted to start off with that first, letting you know that if you go and check out your local highway patrols, they may have the same type of program where they're giving away free car seats, because they're doing that push to make sure that you're not using car seats that are years old or that are defective because you've been in a car accident. So hopefully more and more places are willing to donate car seats, because that's something that we need. So if you are in Missouri, if you are in Kansas, they do offer that. I'm not for certain what other states do, but you can just see whatever highway patrol place is close to you. And you just give them a call and, ask them, and they'll let you know whether or not that's something that they do. So that was a tip that I wanted to put out there so that I don't forget to mention that. For those of you who are about to deliver and have a baby and you don't quite have car seats yet. So, hallelujah, that's that. And again, these tips and these things are not in specific order. You can rate them and put them in a certain order. I just wrote them down. I just wrote what came to my mind while I was going through the process. So what I have written down first, that's why I keep looking down, because I got it right here, is you want to make sure you are stocked up on your sanitary napkins. You cannot use Diva cups. You cannot use tampons during that time. You want to make sure you have plenty of sanitary napkins just stocked up, because after the delivery of the baby, you will be bleeding. The scientific term for it is called lochia. They don't call it the same or identify it as the same type of flow as it is when you have your monthly cycle. So you want to make sure you are stocked up on your sanitary napkins and or cloth pads, if that is what you use. I personally use cloth pads. I like the feel, and I like the fact that I am not allowing so many chemicals to enter into my body that was not designed to be there. So make sure you are stocked up on that. I have the bag, and I make sure that I have different sizes. So in the beginning, immediately after you have baby, you will have you will have a nice, sufficient amount of lochia that is flowing. It won't be like a normal cycle. It will be a lot more than that because you just passed the baby and you have been carrying blood in there for 9 months. So you have to remember that you are going to be bleeding for a while. It's typically for about 30 days. That's your typical flow after having a baby. So be prepared to be passing lochia for 30 days. Now, in the beginning, it will start off heavy and then it will lighten out to even just spotting until the complete 30 days. Some women go a little bit more than 30 days. Some women, they kind of dwindle down before the 30 days. And how you, if you stop and then you start again, that's just letting you know that maybe you're moving too fast. If you started, you've stopped the heavy flow and now it's turned into a trickle and it's just really light. And then all of a sudden it goes back heavy. You may be moving or you may be doing too much too soon and your body is starting to hemorrhage. So that's how you can telltale. It's a telltale sign when you need to calm down on whatever it is that you're doing. If your flow starts getting heavier after it had already dwindled down, then that lets you know that you're putting too much stress on your body too soon. And you actually need to just allow yourself to rest until your complete recovery is done. Hey, children, you are loud. I am making a video. Thank you. Okay. In the very beginning, this is kind of the size that is used with cloth pads. And then it'll go to this. And then it'll go to this. And with these cloth pads, they just slowly get smaller. And then it's this. Okay. So this is almost like a typical postpartum. And this I had custom made. So if you are interested in getting some cloth pads, I recommend Allie Max pads, and you can find her on Facebook. They're very good. Okay. It just folds up and then you can request whether you want a dark pad lining or white. She does it however you want it, but this is typical. This is the cloth pad. And it normally starts off like that when you're having the lochia flow. And then, like I said, it dwindles down. This is a different brand. And just, you know, and this is the charcoal padding, charcoal microfiber padding on this one. And these are very comfortable. And then it dwindles down even to this very small one. Very, very small. Okay. Very, very small. Okay. Almost like that you would buy in the store. Okay. There go my son again. He escaped. Okay. So you want to make sure you're stocked up on that because you will be bleeding for at least 30 days. Okay. Most of the time that's not told to women once they have delivered the baby before, you know, most of the time, a lot of information is ran down right before you leave the hospital. And you're like, what? Oh, okay. I didn't know all of that. I should have known. So that's what this video is, to go ahead and give you a heads up. So that way, if you are going to have your baby in the hospital, you're already prepared. You don't have to ask your husband to go to the store and buy you some sanitary napkins or go give me this because they said I'm gonna need this. Or can you get that? Because I'm gonna need this. You're pretty much already going to be prepared for it. Ice packs. Ice packs is another thing that you want to have. Walgreens, they sell the ice packs where you just already buy like a little case of them. I think about 12 of them comes in a box. And it's ready whenever you are. So whenever you're ready to use it, you just squeeze it and it pops open, and all of the coolness, it spreads out. It's dispersed throughout the whole ice pack, and then you can put it, you could put it in the area that you need it. That is if you want to buy disposable ice packs. There also is another alternative you can use. You can use reusable ice packs, organic ones, where the fabric that they use, the material that they use, is BPA free. It's not full of so many different chemicals in there that you're going to put on your skin. And you can go ahead and have those. If you buy them, maybe they come in a set. You get about 4 or 5 of them in one package. I'll do a video to show you all the different items that I normally have and that I normally have with the mothers that they use when we're preparing to bring in the new baby into the world. I'll show you the different items, but I'm just going down the list of things that is needed so that you kind of already get an idea, and you could just take notes. And then when I make the next video, you can see everything with the brands and the pros and the cons of whichever ones that we have used and which ones that we haven't used. So ice packs, if you buy 3 sets of the ones that we have, which is about 4 of them comes in a set, you have 12. What you want to do is you want to put them in the freezer. That way, when that time comes, you already have 12 ice packs already frozen and waiting on you. Now, I'm recommending ice packs because 9 times out of 10, every mom has soreness after delivering the baby. You not only have soreness down there, you also some moms get hemorrhoids. Okay, that's something that they don't tell you. They don't tell you that. I'm telling you now. They're not going to tell you that in the hospital. So the ice packs are for your soreness in your perineum area, and it's also for the soreness if you get a hemorrhoid or multiple hemorrhoids. The ice packs will definitely help. So that's something that you want to already have on hand and have that stocked and ready to go. So that way, in the event that happens, you can just send one of your helpers that are helping you with the baby to get your ice packs and just have them on rotation. That's the good thing about having the non-disposable ones, the organically made ones, because once you're done with one, it can just be cleaned and rinsed off. It can actually be applied to your skin. The disposable ones that you buy at the store, you can't really apply it to your skin. You have to have some type of cover and on it so that you can put it there. Because again, it's different chemicals and plastics that is made of. But right now you use what you can afford. If you can only afford the disposable, then get the disposable. It's better to have something instead of nothing. Okay. So the next thing is pineapple juice. Why pineapple juice, Sister Gabby? Well, pineapple juice for 2 reasons. There may be more reasons I may come up with again. But the main 2 reasons is pineapples are full of fiber. They will help you use the restroom. Okay. You don't want to have to strain while trying to use the restroom. Pineapple juice will help you with using the restroom. Okay. It gets your bowel moving. And number 1 reason why I recommend you stocking up on pineapple juice and having that on hand almost immediately after having the baby is because pineapple juice helps with engorgement. After you have the baby, your body is going to prepare to make milk. The first couple of days, which is about 2.5 days, sometimes 3 days, you will have milk on that 3rd day. And so when the milk comes in, it's coming in abundance. Some women get so engorged that it's painful to put their arms down. It's kind of difficult. The pineapple juice helps with the engorgement. It helps with the fullness of the breast, and it's going to help the milk just let down and easily come out. Doctors are not going to tell you this, okay? 9 times out of 10, they wait till you go through something for you to call the office, for you to get some type of advice, for you to spend money, having to leave the house. No mom should have to leave the house, find something to help stop or help deal with something that she should have already been told before. Pineapple juice will help with the milk let down, so that way you're not uncomfortable. It's not painful, but it can get that way if something's not done. And so pineapple juice is the healthiest alternative, and it's the best method. All you have to do is drink it, and your milk will release. You won't get engorged. You won't feel too full. You'll be able to put your arms down. It's going to keep you hydrated, and it's going to help with your bowel movement after. I believe, what store? If you have a local wholesale store, like we have a Restaurant Depot here, and they sell the pineapple juice in cases. It's like 30 cans in one case. You can go to a wholesale store and buy it in bulk and just have it just for that. 9 times out of 10, they come in the little can jars. I think they're like 6-ounce jars, which is perfect. It's better to have like the separated jars than buying the actual 32-ounce pineapple juice to where you have a limited time to drink it. I think most of the 100% organic juices has to be drank within 7 days of opening. So if you can find a wholesale club or even a store, I believe Hen House, if you guys have a Hen House, they have a little mini case where 6 jars comes in one case, and you could just probably stock up on a couple of those and just have them on hand. These are things that you want to go ahead and buy long before you're getting close to delivery. I normally recommend everything to be purchased before your 3rd trimester. So your 3rd trimester is when you hit 7 months. You should have all of the main things that you need for labor and delivery by your 7th month. I don't recommend after that, because you don't know when you may have baby. So accidents happen. So if you have everything already purchased by the 7th month, you're going to be good in the event that baby comes unexpectedly. So the next thing is, it's right after what I just said. The reason number 2 for the pineapple juice is your bowel movements. Do not force a bowel movement. You don't want to force it. You will hurt yourself. After you have baby, you just want to be able to sit down on the toilet. You should not have to push. You should not have to strain. If that be the case, you just need to uptake your water, and you need to drink your pineapple juice. You want to make sure you're eating a lot of leafy greens after having baby, and fruits. Fruits will definitely help you because they are full of fiber as well. So, and you have to stay hydrated. If you're dehydrated, you will be constipated. But even if you're constipated, please do not force a bowel movement. You can cause yourself to hemorrhage from forcing a bowel movement. You can also give yourself hemorrhoids if you don't have any from trying to force a bowel movement. You will have a bowel movement. Okay. I'm just giving you different things to do so that you can have a bowel movement. Also, if you are having difficulty having a bowel movement, another alternative, which is safe, is activated charcoal. You can do activated charcoal, or since you have already had baby, it is safe to ingest slippery elm herb again. So they sell a slippery elm in a powder. You can do normally 1 teaspoon is all it takes for the bowel to get going. You can add that 1 teaspoon to a cup of tea. Or you can add it to just warm water. What activates the slippery elm powder is the warm water. It has to be a warm beverage. So if you are having troubles getting that bowel movement, the slippery elm bark powder will help, and it's actually 100% safe for babies. So there's no side effects for the baby. That is actually one herb that the baby can ingest himself or herself. So make sure you're not forcing a bowel movement. Do everything else before. Don't force a bowel movement. You'll save yourself from any unnecessary pain and discomfort. Okay. The next thing is when you are using the restroom, do not wipe. Do not wipe your vaginal area. Okay. You want to pat. If you are having the baby in a hospital, what they will give you is a little bottle. It's called a peri bottle. And that's what you want to use. You want to fill it with warm water. And every time you go to the restroom and you want to use the whole bottle, that's what's going to be like your cleansing agent. You want to use that to cleanse. You can put a little bit of witch hazel in your water. You can put a little tea tree oil. You put a little bit of peppermint in there. If you have not torn, the peppermint will be fine. But if you have torn, you notice that you do have a tear, do not use the peppermint oil. Just stick with the water, the witch hazel, and a little bit of tea tree oil. That will keep a cooling sensation down there, and it will make sure that it's being clean. Saying all at the same time. Once you're done squirting everything, get you a cloth towel, or you can use a wipe. You can use the tissue, but don't wipe. Just pat it dry. If you have a bowel movement, you do have to wipe. You have to wipe your bottom. The baby's not coming out your bottom. I'm just concerned about your perineum and your vulva. So you want to make sure that you're using the peri bottle for that area. If you have hemorrhoids, you want to do the same thing with the peri bottle. You want to make sure that you are cleansing. You're spraying the peri bottle on the area where the hemorrhoid is, and make sure that it does have witch hazel. Witch hazel helps with shrinking. So wiping aggressively, that will irritate the hemorrhoid, and it will seem like it's doing nothing when you first do it. But what happens is when the irritation starts, the next time you go to the restroom, it will be swollen. So you may not notice it right when you're doing the wiping, but later on, when you go to the restroom and you try to wipe or you clean down there again, you'll notice that it's swelled even more. So you want to make sure you're not wiping too hard. You really don't have to do a lot of wiping. If you use that peri bottle and you're using the cleansing solution really good, I mean, if you fill it 4 times and you just keep doing it down there, you're going to be fine. You could just pat until there's nothing else on the tissue. You just want to make sure you're being very careful because you just had a baby. Okay, you just pushed baby out. So you want to treat that area down there very gentle, very sensitive, because that's what it is. It's very sensitive, and the slightest thing can cause irritation. So having that peri bottle full of that cleansing solution, which is, warm water. You can mix a little bit of witch hazel in there, tea tree oil, and cleanse with that. Just squirt, and you'll feel the cooling. You'll feel the cooling going on. And once you're done with that, go ahead and wipe. I mean, pat, not wipe. Don't do this. I don't know. Use my fist. Don't do that. You want to pat. Okay. You want to pat. Just pat the area. You will be grateful that you did. I'd rather you pat and not have to go through the irritation and the extra swelling and having to call your doctor or anything and go back in to where they're poking and prodding on you. You don't want to go through that. You don't want to go through that during that time at all. So don't force your bowel movements and don't wipe. You want to use warm water with that peri bottle. Okay. Every time you go to the restroom, every single time. I don't care if you're just urinating. You want to do it every single time. Okay. You will have contractions after having baby. You'll have contractions so that you can deliver the afterbirth is what they call it, or the placenta. The placenta will come out. The contractions won't be as strong because baby has been delivered, but you will contract so that the placenta can come out. Okay, once the placenta comes out, you will be fine for probably about 6 to 8 hours, depending on what time you have the baby at night. You'll be good for the rest of the night. And then the next day, that's when your stomach will start recontracting again. Okay. They normally don't tell you this because normally what happens is in the hospital after you have baby, they come in and they ask you, how are you doing? How is your pain? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm really good. And then the next day they come in, they're going to ask you, okay, how are you doing? How's your pain? Okay, I'm a little sore here. Offer you some ibuprofen 800s, or they're going to offer you some Tylenol with codeine in it, or they're going to offer you something else stronger. And while you're there, you're going to be on that medication. You're not going to notice the contracting in your stomach. What's going to happen is once you go home and you no longer have access to the Tylenol, you no longer have access to the the ibuprofen, you're going to notice that my stomach is contracting. I'm having cramps. That's what it's going to feel like. You're going to feel, what is this going on? They didn't tell me about this. So I'm telling you, after the first day you have the baby, your body is resting because after the initial contractions of getting baby here and getting placenta here, it's done all the contracting for that moment. So you're already going to be bleeding. Day after, and for the next 2 to 3 days, you're going to start having strong contractions again. This is because your uterus is going to do its best to shrink down within 3 to 4 days. Yeah, they don't tell you that. Your body is designed to go back into its natural and proper order that it was in. So in those next 3 to 4 days, you're going to experience like the same type of contractions that you were having once you delivered baby. Okay. That's just the normal mechanism for the uterus. It's normal. It's not abnormal. It's very normal. And that's letting you know that it's doing its job. Okay. Because of the contracting down, the shrinking, and the contractions, your uterus is doing this. It's doing this every time that it contracts. Side, maybe, and then the other side, and then it comes down. And it's going to do that for the next 3 to 4 days until it gets back to this. Every woman's uterus is about the size of her fist. Okay. It's going from this big balloon back to this. And so the strength and the intensity is because it's trying to do it within those 3 to 4 days. And that's healthy. It's supposed to do that. At the time that it's contracting, it's also passing any more clots, any more debris, any more blood, and if there's any flesh that was left over, any more amniotic sac, things like that is being pushed out. Okay, so excuse me, to lessen the pain, you want to make sure that you're massaging. In the hospital, they're very rough, they're very aggressive, they're not very gentle. So what I used to do is I would massage my uterus myself so that they wouldn't have to come in there, so that when they checked to see if my uterus was still going down, to make sure it was contracting, they could tell that it was going down, so they didn't have to rub. So if you are doing a home birth, whoever is monitoring you, you want to make sure that if you're comfortable with them rubbing on your stomach, that they're rubbing your stomach at a not too rough, but you want it to be strong enough to where you can feel your stomach starting to contract. Okay. The rubbing is to activate the contracting in your uterus, that it goes all the way down. You want to make sure that the uterus is hard. If it's soft, no, that's not good. You want it to be hard, because when it's hard, that means that it's still pushing out whatever may have been left over from the placenta being attached to the wall. Okay. So, because of that contraction, that pain that you may feel from the uterus shrinking, I normally recommend that you already be stocked up on a labor tincture, a tincture that will help with the after pains, or the contracting after birth. I have an afterbirth tincture. If you're not familiar with, or if you can't get access to an afterbirth tincture, and it works very well. I will hopefully be able to get some testimonies uploaded on the different women who have used the tincture and how it has worked wonders for them during that time, because that 3 to 4 days is a crucial time. It's a crucial moment for mom and baby. The contractions can range from a 5 to a 10, a 5 being moderately something you can bear with, to a 10 where it's almost as if you can't move. You're like, okay, let me just pause for a moment while this contraction is going on, and then okay. So that tincture brings it way down to where you are able to still nurse baby. So what I want to let you know is, when you are nursing baby, baby will activate the contractions. Okay. Our bodies were designed to do that. Every time baby nurses, it's designed for the uterus to contract, to push out whatever's left behind. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are nursing baby. And I know it can be uncomfortable trying to nurse the baby and allow the contraction to go on, because I said it can get to a 10, but with that tincture, it will help you to where you can nurse baby at the same time. Okay. So get an afterbirth tincture. That will definitely help you get through those 3 to 4 days. The next thing is a meal preparation. For what, honey? Yeah, that's fine. Where'd you get that one from? Where'd you get that one from?
It was in the chapter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, go in there with your brother, please. Okay, so meal preparation. What I typically do is, which I really don't have to do it now, but because we have a big family and I don't like to drop the ball, I like to still do my part. If I am able, if the baby hasn't decided to come before I plan to prepare my meals 2 weeks in advance, I prepare meals 2 weeks in advance. This is especially good for mothers who are single moms, or you are married, but you don't have family around who can help you during that time of healing. You want to make sure that you prepare meals 2 weeks in advance. So that way, when you do go to the hospital and you come home, or you're at home and you have baby, you're not pressured to try to get up and cook something, or, you guys aren't going without eating because, you're on bed rest healing. So, Adaya, go back in there. Meal preparation 2 weeks out is really good, because those first 2 weeks is going to be like your jump back. Once those first 2 weeks go by, you're going to start being able to get up and move around a lot more. So prepare meals 2 weeks in advance. Some really good meals that you can prepare are casseroles, pastas. Those meals can be frozen and reheated. Something simple. Your husband could just go in. Okay, thank you, honey. Your husband could just go in, grab the meal, put it in the oven. Okay. Yeah, mainly casseroles, pastas, chilies, things like that, soups, meals like that, where he doesn't have to try to figure out how to prepare something or be in the kitchen for 50 million hours. He can be spending more time with you and with the new baby. So if you be attentive to preparing meals 2 weeks in advance. And then if you do have family, you can also, if they're, putting an offer out, well, whatever you need, honey, just let me know. Or you have friends, whatever you need, just let me know. Okay, you can tell them that you do need them to do something. After you have ran out of your 2 weeks of meal preparation, you can have different family members or different friends already lined up to bring meals to your home. You can say, hey, we just need dinner. Don't worry about lunch or don't worry about breakfast. We just need dinner prepared. Now you'll have people already lined up who can bring meals for you. So that way you're not, stressing or, getting frustrated on how you're going to get dinner prepared with a newborn or, still trying to heal. So that is something that all moms need to know as well. Meal preparation will help you out a lot. And then, having somebody set aside to prepare meals for you guys, that will help you out 100%. Okay. You will be very grateful that that's something that you decided to do. The next thing, I recommend sleeping with the baby, cohabitation, co-sleeping with baby. Okay. The number one reason why I recommend the co-sleeping, I'm going to take a drink. Sorry. I was getting a little parched. I'm getting a little hungry too. So y'all may see me take a bite of a piece of chicken and some spinach. So the number one reason why I recommend you co-sleeping with baby is once baby is born, there is a symbiotic relationship that goes on with mommy's body, daddy's body, and baby's body. Okay. In conjunction with the sleeping with baby, skin to skin contact is very vital and very important. Okay. Because of the symbiotic relationship that happens with mother, baby, and father. Skin to skin is very important. With all of my children, I lay them on my chest immediately once they are born. They are on my chest. I don't bathe them. I don't do anything else but get them on my chest. Umbilical cord is still attached. They need to be on me. Okay. And I hold them there for about an hour. If they pee on me, so what? They typically don't poop until you start nursing. So, what's urine? Baby's urine. I put them on my chest because that's very, very important. You guys can look up the benefits. The benefits are amazing. If the baby's temperature is too low, just putting them on your chest for about 25 minutes. Immediately when they get there, your body automatically starts to regulate baby's temperature, yours or your husband's. Okay. It's a symbiotic relationship going on between baby and mommy and daddy. Okay. So that is why I recommend co-sleeping contact with the child because of the benefits of it. It's just amazing. I think there was one article I read last year of a mother who gave birth to a stillborn baby. Her baby died. And the doctors immediately wanted to just take the baby and you know, prepare him to be sold off for his fetal cells and tissues to be used. Truth, okay? This is what they do. Um, it's not a joke, but they were ready to take the baby. She insisted just let her hold her baby. Let her enjoy the time with her baby while she can, even though the baby is dead. The baby was dead. She put the baby on her chest, and I think the baby laid there for 2 hours and started breathing. Started breathing. The doctors are amazed. They don't know what's going on. It's a symbiotic relationship. Mama's body was talking to baby's body and was doing what was necessary for baby to live. Okay. The Father is amazing. He created our bodies to do inexplainable things. Okay. So I recommend cohabitation, co-sleeping with baby, skin to skin contact with baby. There are some things you may not understand. You may not figure out what is going on with your baby, but all you have to do is put them on your chest and your body knows exactly what to do. Your husband's body knows exactly what to do for baby because the baby is the fruit of your womb. It came from you. It knows what to do. Okay. So I definitely recommend that. It is proven that with the co-sleeping of the children, the SIDS rate decreases. The sudden infant death of, the sudden infant death syndrome, it decreases with the more spent in the bed with his parents. The baby can feel the love from both mother and father. It's a spiritual thing that goes on as well. And so when you're putting your child in a separate bed, a separate crib, a separate sleeping area, the baby at that early stage feels neglect. Okay. The body is able to sense it. So that's why I said it's very important to have that skin to skin contact and to have that co-sleeping, because your bodies are talking to each other. Understand, our bodies are talking to each other. So that's very important. Another thing is if you cut the cord of the baby, if you cut the umbilical cord, to nurse that baby as soon as possible. Okay. That's if you haven't eaten before you delivered the baby. I know with my son, my third son that I had, I had just ate. I was actually eating while I was in labor, and I had a full meal. And when he was born, he did not want to eat. He was full. He was already full. He didn't eat till the next day. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You are fine. The doctors will try to say, hurry up and nurse the baby because he's going to lose weight. He's starving. And the baby knows when he's hungry. Okay. You follow the signs of the baby. If the baby is not rooting, doing that and doing all of that. If he's not doing all that, he's not hungry. Don't try to force him to eat. Okay. But once he starts doing that and, sniffing and trying to find you, he's hungry. Okay. He's giving you signs, let you know that, okay, mommy, I'm ready to eat. But if he's sleeping and he's not trying to putting your breast in his face with milk on there and he's still not, where he can smell the colostrum and he's still not gravitating towards it, he's fine. He's healthy. Okay. Enjoy that moment of peace. Enjoy that moment of rest that you're going to have right there. Enjoy it. Don't try to rush and try to get baby to latch on and feed him. Baby is fine. Okay. My son didn't eat till the next day. He didn't eat till the next morning. He was full. He wasn't trying to eat. And so when he was hungry, he let me know he was hungry. Okay. So if you do cut the cord, you will be nursing very often. I just want to let you know that if you don't cut the umbilical cord, your nursing schedule it'll be stretched out. It's something about keeping the placenta intact where the babies aren't really as hungry and they sleep a little bit longer. They sleep for about an hour and a half with the umbilical cord attached than they do with it detached. I know with my son that I just previously had, we kept the umbilical cord attached to him. And I think he nursed maybe 3 or 4 times in one day. In one day. I was amazed. I said, he is not trying to eat. I kept trying to feed him, and he was like, I said, okay, I guess he knows best. He's fine. And then when he was ready to eat, he would eat. And then when the umbilical cord fell off, that's when his nursing habit picked up. That's when he was a lot more hungrier. So, especially if you are contracting and you don't have that tincture, keeping that umbilical cord attached to them will keep them fuller longer. It's like they're still they're getting all of the blood and the nutrients that they need while the umbilical cord is attached to them, so it doesn't cause them to want to root more often. They're not they're actually sleeping peacefully and resting often than they are when the umbilical cord is detached. So the tip there. I think I mentioned that already. So I'm gonna just go back to that about the drinking of fluids. Make sure that you are drinking at least 1 gallon of water. I'm gonna drink 1 whole gallon that whole day. And all the time that you were nursing, you want to get a gallon of water in. I recommend alkaline water or spring water. Those waters are about the naturalist that you're going to get. So those are the waters that I recommend that you drink. They will be detoxing your system as well, pushing out any toxins. So alkaline water or spring water, and you want to drink a gallon. You're going to be nursing and recovering at the same time. So you need that water coming into your system. Nursing pads, you want to make sure that you have nursing pads. I think I was not told about milk just expressing whenever you hear a baby cry or whenever your baby cries. I mean, your breasts will it's prepared to feed baby because baby's hungry. So you want to make sure that you are stocked up on nursing pads. You can buy them, the disposables, most of the time it's about 60 of them in a pack or 60 of them in a box. I think Lancino, they sell the big boxes of the nursing pads. I buy non-disposable pretty much everything. And in the video, the breastfeeding video that I do, I will actually show you what my nursing pads look like. The ones you get in the store, they're about that small. They're like that small, which doesn't really cover much. You know, if milk begins to express, it's gonna fill up that whole pad. So my nursing pads are about that big, okay? Because when you begin to express, you're losing about an ounce of milk. And so you need a pad to be able to catch an ounce of milk. Okay, so make sure that you are stocked up on nursing pads. And you can do the same thing that you do with your sanitary napkins. You can store some of them in the car, store some of them in the diaper bag, store some in your purse and your backpack, store some at your job, store some in the office, wherever you are often. Store those nursing pads because you don't know how often you may have to change them. After the first couple of days of seeing how your body works, seeing how much milk that you actually produce, you can kind of gauge how many nursing pads you go through in that day. And then that way you can have stocked up how many nursing pads that you need because you know, okay, I'm going to go through about 4 a day. So I need to make sure on hand, I have at least 4 in my glove box. I have at least four sets because if you have 2 breasts, so you're going to need 2 pads for each breast. So same thing you do with your sanitary napkins is the same thing that you want to do with your nursing pads. The thing about the car seats, and this is the last thing, I believe. Yes, I believe this is the last thing. Like I said, if you want to know more, feel free to comment. Feel free to thumbs up. Ask me your questions. I may not have hit on an area that you have a concern in. Feel free to ask me your questions and I can get them answered. Okay, so this is not just the end all. These are not the only things that a new mom needs to know, but I don't want to bombard you with too many things. So I just wanted to start with 10. And if there's other things that you would like to know. So this last thing is the car seat. With the car seat, babies don't like car seats. Okay, they don't tell you this. Okay, this is the only reason that they have a difficult time being in the car seat. It's because of the comfortability level. It's not as much cushion as mommy's arms or as daddy's arms or as the pillow that you lay them on. And so when you put them in the car seat, it's uncomfortable for them. So what you want to do is you want to pad it up where, up under the bottom, behind the back. There's a way you can lift up. My son's car seat is very well cushioned. We bought extra things to make sure that he's comfortable. So now when we put him in the car seat, he just goes to sleep. The only time he's really cranky or fussy is if he's hungry and he needs a diaper change. But other than that, I don't have any problems out of my children anymore because we make sure that their car seat is cushioned. That is the only reason being fed before you put them in the car seat. You want to make sure that if your baby hasn't eaten in the last hour before you're about to leave, nurse him or nurse her before you put them in the car seat. Because a lot of times the baby can't let you know that they're kind of woozy. They're feeling nauseous from the movement of the car. If you nurse them and they're on a full belly, they won't feel car sick. Why? Because they feel woozy or they feel nauseous because they don't have anything on their belly while they're riding. So nurse the baby before you put them in the car seat and make sure that it's comfortable. Just think about yourself. If your seat in the front was hard and you had this thin cushion on there and you're sitting there and you have to ride for an hour or you have to ride for 30 minutes till you're going to be moving and you're going to be, because it's uncomfortable. It's every turn, every bump, you're moving and you're bumping around. You're going to be uncomfortable. That's what your baby is experiencing in that car seat when it doesn't have all of the different cushions. Our seats in our car is more cushioned, more comfortable than a baby's car seat, which is strange to me. A newborn should have like a luxury car seat. Like it should be really comfortable to the point where when they stay asleep when you put them in there. But that's not the case. So they do have different gadgets that you can purchase. We actually have like the little cushions that you put around the seatbelt, the little seatbelt part. Both of their car seats are actually, their straps come with built-in cushions up under. So that way, when we're pulling the strap up, that hard plastic is not pressing against them where it's just uncomfortable. And, it's a lot more comfortable for them. They have cushions on their straps. They have a cushion piece put right in front of the actual buckle so that it's not pushing too hard down on their private area. They actually have cushions in the back. And they feel snug. And we have it to where they feel like they're being swaddled. And we rarely have any fuss and any complaints out of them. So make sure you nurse baby before you get in the car and make sure their car seat is comfortable. That's for all new moms. That is just something to save you from having to have a trip with the screaming baby. And then you don't know why he's screaming. Well, he's screaming because he's uncomfortable. So I just wanted to let you know that that is the 10 things that I have. And if you guys are interested in knowing more or you have any questions, just feel free to ask me again. I remind you that I am a mom who has had 5 successful deliveries thus far. And I've had my children both in the hospital and home birth. So experienced in both aspects. So feel free to ask me any type of questions concerning hospital stay, hospital visit, or home. So bless you all. That is the end of this video. I pray that it was informative for you guys. And I pray that it is something that can help you or the next mom or a mom that you may know who's about to embark on delivery. Stay tuned because I will be doing a breastfeeding video here shortly, and I will be doing a labor specific video. So bless you all. Have a peaceful night, and I'll see you soon. Shalom.